Hi, my name is Ava Sangiuliano, and for my Eureka poster presentation, I did a qualitative study on the bystander prevention programs involving alcohol to prevent sexual assault cases. Mainly looked into the college scene, the party scene, obviously involving alcohol. And I was interested in this topic because I did some research, and I found that sexual assault is so common when there are bystanders involved, which you would think if there's a bystander, they would obviously do something to stop this. But usually people don't have the proper education in or training in how to actually intervene without them getting hurt, the person getting hurt, them ruining friendships or relationships, or them just feeling like they're stuck in a situation and it's best not to do anything because they don't want to get hurt themselves or hurt the other person. So I took this, I used this information and I started researching. A lot of secondary sources, a lot of studies, where one of my studies was they asked a bunch of female responses and they said who have gotten sexual assaulted. And most of the time they said they were in a party scene and there were other people there. And yet they still got sexually harassed, sexually assaulted because no one stepped in. And I specifically wanted to look into alcohol because obviously when you're in a college scene, a lot more you're intoxicated, therefore your brain doesn't function the way it should. Meaning that if you learn one way how to do something, it might be completely different when if you yourself or even the other person is under the influence that you don't necessarily know what to do. So with this, I created a survey that was sent out on a subreddit to survey takers. It's worldwide, but I narrowed my search to 18 plus and those of the United States citizenship. And with this, I really ask questions. I explain what the bystander prevention programs are, which would be we're preventing these bystanders from just watching, and these programs will teach them how to act in the situation, whether they should intervene or distract, because there are many ways you can go about intervening, and it's important to know how exactly to do it so that you can be safe yourself and keep the other people safe involved. So I collected data with this. Um, and for one of my most interesting survey responses is I asked, would you be interested in taking a bystander awareness class? After I explained what it is, I also asked other questions like, have you learned this before? If you have, what do you like? Do you like learning online, in person type deal? And if you can tell by this graph, I set it up with male and female respondents, whether they would strongly disagree or strongly agree. And I found that almost 80% of survey takers agreed that there is a need for bystander prevention programs in the college setting. This means that I had, I think, 35-ish respondents, which I wish I would have gotten more, but that is still a good amount of people. And if over 80% say that they somewhat agree or strongly agree that this should happen, is a great correspondent in what we should be doing. Less than 10% of people said that they were extremely likely to know what to do if they're witnessing this while they were under the influence, which is a very, very small percentage of people. And especially if these party scenes happen weekly, like multiple times a week as well. And if you're out and you don't know what to do, because less than 10% of people actually know what to do or are extremely likely to know what to do, this is an issue because we can prevent these sexual assault cases from even occurring. Um, and yes, 78% of my test takers said that they would be interested in taking programs. My conclusion, when prompted, the survey takers were 90% more likely to not know what to do. This just calls for a need for these programs, which leads me to my future work, as the university should require a bystander prevention program involving alcohol or even not, because we don't have a requirement right now that says you have to learn how to like prevent these sexual assault cases because, again, there's so much research saying that between the women ages of 18 to 25, at least 97% of women have known someone who's been sexually assaulted or have been themselves. With this in mind, this is a very this needs to happen now, and it can be happened easily, fairly. I know for my athletics program, at least once a semester or once a year, they talk to every athletics team, and it is required. They explain what consent is, and they explain what to do if you are in situations involving someone is being assaulted or you're being they just teach you how to do this. And I feel like if you can do this in a niche group, you can apply this to the entire campus. At the bottom, I have my works cited. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.